All right, everybody, once again, please make sure that you go ahead on your end. Please mute out your line. I'd like to have you guys muted on your end. That way, if you want to ask questions down the road, you can do so freely without having to, ask me to do it. But if I do hear a lot of, background music, I'll just mute out everybody. So again, mute it on your side so that we can get started. So a couple things, guys. It won't be too long today. I just wanted to bring some updates to you guys. So a couple things that are happening within the group right now. We are days away from the pre-launch of the actual CBD products, which so many of you guys got started with. But what I'm so excited and what I'm so encouraged with lately is how many of you guys are actually having some incredible testimonies and reaction to utilizing the current product line that we have, okay? That's a huge deal, guys, because if some of you guys are interested in building a 6- and 7-figure organization, you're gonna need people that are getting people who are getting people who are getting people who are continuously purchasing product on an ongoing basis. And the only way that's gonna happen is if people find value in the products that we have. You see, I don't want to just build an organization that goes around the world that's just focused on people buying CBD on a monthly basis. Because, see, here's what we do. We think about this from a business perspective. If the CBD product comes out, okay, and let's say it's $160 a month. I don't know what it's going to be. So let's say we have 10,000 people on our group, and they're paying $160. That's $1.6 million in volume every single month, right? Now imagine, let's say we got 1% of that, 2% of that. I'm trying to help you to think big picture. Now that's awesome. How many of you guys would cash that check? Yes, I would. Okay. However, what if it wasn't just CBD that people were buying, but they were also buying sleep? They were also buying Eternal. They were also buying Vtox. They were also buying all of these things. And now the average price per person, let's say we have 10,000 people on our team and they're paying $250 a month. Guys, that's $2.5 million in volume. So I want you guys to think bigger picture. Yes, we're all here because we love CBD. Yes, we're all excited about it. But the most important part for me is I continue to get validation over and over and over again about how incredible the rest of our products are, guys. It's a huge deal, okay? So with that being said, guys, there's a couple of things that we'll say. So this weekend, is Vegas. So on Thursday, the venue is open. So that means that I would encourage you guys that can get out there on Thursday to get there early, get checked in, get your wristbands, get all of that squared away, make sure that you're all good there. Because Friday morning at 8 a.m. Is when the doors open. And actually, I think the doors open before that. It starts at 8 a.m. Now, it's open seating. So we are going to try to coordinate so that we can all meet and we can all get there. Now, here's what I know about networking. We have people on our team from all walks of life, right? So I think it's safe to say that some of you guys aren't morning people, right? Some of you guys are. So here's what I usually see. I see a small group of the morning people out there trying to fight to hold seats for all the other folks. And then they come later and they're like, hey, how come you didn't save me a seat? I'm like, well, bro, because we've been out here since 6 in the morning. Where you been, right? So I want everybody to get out there as early as possible. We'll coordinate. Remember, this is my first event with Viseo as well. So I'm trying to figure out what we're going to look like. And then Friday, same thing. It starts at 8 o'clock. Afterwards on on Saturday evening, we're going to have a roundup where everybody in the UCrew Nation comes together. So obviously we're part of the UCrew Nation. We're the UCrew movement, but all of us are going to come together. We're going to have some updates, some trainings, some recognition, some fun, and then the team, we're just going to go have some fun and fellowship inside of Las Vegas. So it's going to be an incredible weekend. Sunday, they actually have a non-denomination, I believe, Christian worship service, which is pretty cool. So I'm excited about that as well. Okay, so some updates to keep in mind as well. We are not taking our foot off of the gas pedal as we go into this weekend. So tomorrow, I do have a lot of opportunity open. So pretty much what I want you guys to understand is, number one, from 10 a.m. Pacific on is when I'm on the books, okay, when I'm open. Prior to that, I help my kids get off to school. I like to spend time with my wife in the morning. She hits the gym. I hit the gym. I get into prayer and reading. It's how I keep my life balanced. So prior to 10 a.m., I'm pretty much not available. that, pretty much my day starts from 10 a.m. every 15 to 30 minutes on the hour all the way till the end of the night, okay? So Thursday is going to be a little tough because my wife and I are traveling, but once we get there late in the evening / afternoon, I might be able to do some calls for you guys, and then Friday, obviously, and Saturday, we're at the event. So we do have one acknowledgement this evening, okay, and I believe this is number 9, okay, in about 35 days of people that we have had on our group that have gotten started and hit the position of gold rank, okay? And so what I'd like to do right now is I'm gonna unmute his line, and this is a gentleman that I met just a short time ago. His name is Joe Medina. Joe, I'm going to let him explain his background to you, why he got started with Viseo, and what it feels like to be a gold and know that you've achieved something and so quickly. But I want to introduce Joe to you because today, actually last night, Joe officially hit the rank of gold. So without further ado, Joe, are you there?
I'm here, Mario.
Awesome, brother. So talk to us a little bit about your background. Just share with us, what you do for a living and if you have any network marketing experience and what it's been like so far with Viseo.
Thank you, Mario. First of all, I've been in corporate America. I've been in sales since about 1997. So I've been fortunate enough to travel the country and travel to other parts of the world to be able to learn different business models and enjoy other cultures. I'm married. We have 3 children, and obviously the most important part of why I wanted to get in this business was to really help our daughter who has autism, and she's been on the spectrum, and we found out when she was about 2 years old, and so we've been on this roller coaster ride of trying many different therapies, many different medications to help her. As she got older, like many things with children, they get older, the bigger they get, the bigger the issues become, and that's autism. So autism has grown with her through the ages, through the years, and now that she's 19, we've been on CBD, as I explained a little bit last night, CBG, THC, and THCA. So she's tried many different forms of CBD to try to help her with her behaviors. Over the years, she's become a little bit more rebellious, if you will. We don't know if it's part of being a teenager or is it being autistic. But in any event, we've been fortunate enough to work with a doctor, Bonnie Goldstein, who got us into the CBD world about 19 months ago. So when I first spoke with Tanya, and she approached me about the business, her first words are actually to me was, you're in that CBD world. You know a little bit about CBD, and I'm part of a team that is part of a pre-launch team that is working on launching this new technology. So right away, that caught my attention because I'm always looking for something to help our daughter out. And when she explained that it was liposomal, I wasn't really aware of the technology, but as the days that, as I got in the business, or I got to speak with other people within the business, especially Mario, I got to know a little bit more about the technology. And as things went on, I realized that if my daughter could benefit from CBD as it is today, where the technology is at about 5% absorption, and that's been able to help her, what's going to happen when we launch our CBD that's going to be in the 90 percentile of absorption rate? I just think I'm excited about that, and I'm excited to see the results. I'm excited for her health and for her well-being and her future, and I know that it's going to work because the products that we have today, that we have, the sleep product's been tremendous for my wife and I, as I explained last night. So I'm a firm believer in liposome technology. I'm a firm believer in nutraceuticals and health and wellness, and I'm a firm believer in the company. And what's really helped me to get to gold is really the people. Mario and Tanya have been fantastic. We have David on our team and Lisa on our team, and they bring this energy and this passion, and they have their whys. of why they're in the business, and I can relate to that. And so for me, and everybody's and for me, they have their priorities straight. You know, it's God, it's family and business. And the business that we're in, we really need to help our families out. So it's a very unique company and a very unique system. By watching the videos and following the system, it really helps you to understand what needs to be done, and then following the script that Mario has set for us. It's been a lot easier than I've ever thought, because I have no network marketing experience whatsoever to get people on the phone to talk to Mario and to Ricky, Francois, and to Tanya about the business. So all I've done is follow the script, text someone, call someone, or send a video when required. And all I do is follow the system and follow the steps. And that's been able to help me get enough people for Mario and Tanya to help me build the team.
Awesome, bro. How's it feel to hit gold? How's that feel?
It feels wonderful. It's more of a sense of responsibility. So, you know, it feels good. You know, it really does, because now I feel a lot calmer about things, and I could just focus on really building the team, and really excited about the products in the future. So I feel tremendous. I feel really good about everything in the future.
Awesome, brother. Awesome. Well, I'm excited for you, man. I'm gonna tell you right now. You said something a couple of weeks ago when I first met you, and you said, the life that you and your wife live for a long time is not like everybody else's. You don't. A lot of the things that I know, even as a dad myself, I take for granted. Being able to just go to the market, being able to just go to a date night, stuff like that. You guys don't have that luxury. And so I want to tell you personally, I want to make sure I do whatever I can to make sure that you get on that ship, and that you guys get a weekend to just be a couple and just to relax, kick your feet up, bro. And I'm super thankful that you're on this group. And now the key is we need to create a gold machine under you. So now your focus is to just create golds under you all day long. We just fill that chip up, and then you're going to look up and you're platinum. Keep filling that chip up. You're going to look up and you're emerald. You're going to look up and you're blue sapphire. And that's really how this business works, man, is just helping other people win. And when they win, you laugh to the bank by default. Pretty genius model, right?
I agree 100%. Thank you for that.
Cool, brother. All right, man. So we're going to keep moving on here. I know a lot of you guys are on, and it's been a long day. So the one thing that I want to share with you guys tonight is something that I learned pretty early in my networking career. And so I like to make sure that I always give you guys value. Okay, I remember being in network marketing, and it was like, oh man, just another meeting, right? And I don't ever want that. So I'm always going to do whatever I can to bring you guys value, even if it's just in a short 5-minute training. And so keeping in mind that a lot of you guys are like Joe, that were attracted to this particular program because of CBD. You were attracted to this particular program because of what you believe in, what you've experienced with the particular product, or what you live your lifestyle. But you're like, Mar, I've never been in network marketing before, so I don't really understand how this works. So once again, I want to continue to help build a really solid foundation for you. And so one of the things that I learned really early in my networking career is what I call the law of sowing and reaping. So if you're taking notes, write this down. It's called the law of sowing and reaping. Now, the principle comes from the Bible, okay? But we're going to actually use that principle right here in the network marketing industry, and I think you'll be blessed by it. So first off, what we notice is that the sower, right, is ambitious, okay? This sower is somebody that has something that he wants to go out and accomplish, right? And his seed is excellent. Okay, so in the Bible, he was throwing the gospel, right? It's talking about you going out there and throwing seeds, right? Well, here, what is that seed? The seed is the sales story, right? The seed is talking about educating people with CBD. The seed is your own personal testimony with the products that you have, the successes that you have. So your job, guys, and your only job is to continue to throw the seed, okay? So if you look at the story of the sower and the seed, right? The first part is this. So he throws the seed and it falls on the ground and the birds come and get it. Okay, so what does that mean, right? So, so I invite somebody out to a meeting. So last night we had a meeting, right? So let's say I invite somebody out and John says, hey, I'm going to come to the meeting. He has an idea. He says, hey, I'm going to come check it out. But then the birds get him, okay? And what does that mean? He's at work and they say, hey, what do you got going on tonight? Oh, I'm going to go to a meeting at somebody's home. And they're like, you're not going to go look at network marketing, are you? Are you kidding me? Those things don't work. Come on. The birds got him, right? And see, what happens is you guys have to understand that as you're throwing seed, sometimes the birds are just going to come and they're going to swoop him out. He had a good idea that he was going to come and he doesn't show up, okay? So what you do, guys, here is when somebody doesn't show up, when somebody cancels or reschedules your appointment, you have two options here, okay? Number one is you go and chase the birds, right? You're like, I'm going to get that flipping bird. I'm going to choke it, right? Like, what do you mean your brother-in-law said network marketing doesn't work? You know what? Let me get your brother-in-law on the phone right now. I'm going to show him how much money Mario made in his first 30 days. Tell your brother-in-law to shut his mouth, right? The problem with that, guys, chasing birds is what it does is it actually distracts you from throwing seed. That's your only job. Just keep throwing the seed. Don't chase birds, right? So when that happens, here's what I want you guys to say. Now, this isn't mine. What I'm teaching you here, guys, is literally network marketing, like foundational truth. And this is a saying, when the birds get them, okay, when the birds come and steal the seed, all you want to do is say to yourself, isn't that interesting? That's it. There's nothing you can do about it, right? I tell people all the time, don't fight that. Mr. Jim Rohn, who taught this training the first time, said, don't enroll in that class. Well, how come the birds get them? Don't go there. He says, don't enroll for that class, okay? Now, number two, okay, so if you notice, the sower, he just kept sowing seed. So the second thing he does is he goes and he starts throwing the seed out, and it lands on rocky ground that is shallow, okay? So what does that mean, okay? Here's another phase that you're going to run into. As you're throwing seed, it's going to fall into the ground, and it's going to plant itself into shallow ground, and it's going to sprout up a little plant. So what does that mean? So you finally get John to take a look at the information. John gets excited, okay? And he gets started. He puts his pack in. He might go through his planning session. He gets pretty excited. But what happens is the little plant comes up, but because it's not deep, because it's shallow soil, sun comes, the heat comes, and it just goes, it just dies, right? Some people are going to jump in. They're going to get excited, and then they're just going to do this. That's it. And there's nothing you can do about it, okay? So the idea is just keep throwing the seed. So here's what happens. You get John started. He's all excited. He gets on the phone. He sends a text out. And then somebody in his network goes, boo. And he goes, oh, right? We get scared. Oh, my Uncle Joe, my Uncle Joe said, a pyramid thing. And he said this and blah, blah, blah. And then they start giving you all these excuses, right? So now, once again, what are you going to do about it? There's nothing you can do about it. All you've got to do is just say, isn't that interesting? Okay? And you just got to keep on moving, okay? So number one, right? Sometimes the birds are going to get them. Number two, sometimes they're going to bear fruit. You might get somebody to join. They spring up a little bit of a flower, and then the heat comes and gets them. The heat can really be anything. The hot weather is going to get some, and that's why I say there's nothing you're going to be able to do about that. The third, guys, is here's what I want to tell you. Don't get caught up in this why business. Hey, why is this happening? How come they didn't do this? What's going on there, right? Don't go down that path, because all it's going to do is it's going to take your focus off from sowing of the seed, okay? And this is one thing that I learned really, really early. You guys have got to discipline your disappointment, okay? So write that down. You've got to discipline your disappointment. And that's in anything in life. Okay, you've got to understand that disappointment is going to happen in network marketing. Disappointment is going to happen in your family. Disappointment may happen in your marriage. Disappointment may happen at work. It doesn't matter. You've got to discipline that discipline or disappointment and understand there's nothing you can do about it. You've just got to be disciplined enough to get through it and keep on moving. So the third part is that some of this is going to fall on thorny ground. Okay, so he throws the seed now and it falls on the ground that has thorns. Okay, so what is that? So the plant gets in there, it starts to grow, and then the thorns choke it out, right? Well, what is the thorns? The Bible says that it's like the cares. They say the cares of the world, right? Choke it out. What is that in our industry, right? So you invite John, he's supposed to come, and then he doesn't show up. You call him up and you're like, hey, so what happened, bro? And he said, oh, you know what? What happened, Joe? Joe was, the screen door fell off the hinges. And, I had to fix it. You can't let the screen door fall off the hinges, and then while I finally finished that. And then I realized there was a bunch of trash piling up on the side of the house. And you can't let your trash pile up on the house, right? And so what he's talking about is that some people, okay, will let little things cheat them out of big opportunities, okay? And so some of you guys that have been here for about 30 days or so, you might be experiencing this right now, right? People on your group are letting little things cheat them out of big time opportunities, right? So the thorns, people, things of the cares of the world, right? My job or this or that. Here's what I'm going to tell you guys. I am trying to prepare you guys for 6 and 7 figure opportunity, because this is what I call a unicorn. It's special. It's something that you don't see very often. And when you see a unicorn, you jump all over it. This is the same thing. So what's going to happen is I want you guys to really understand that for some of you that take this serious, next week can be the start of probably the most upside down, backwards time that you've ever experienced in your life, right? I know a lot of people get into network marketing. They're like, man, I really want to get some secondary source of income so that I can start to gain freedom in my life, and I want to have time. Listen, you've got to understand, to make life-changing income, it's going to take at least 6 months to a year worth of absolute craziness. Where when this first happened to me and my wife, I remember sitting down with her and I said, babe, I'm going to tell you 100%, I'm going to miss soccer games. I'm going to miss softball games. I'm going to miss birthday parties, right? There will be times where I just can't do it. Like it's going to be chaos, but you have to understand that that's what you want. You've got to understand that you cannot let little things rob you from a massive, massive opportunity, okay? And so finally, what's going to happen is as you keep sowing, okay, sooner or later, it's going to fall on good ground, okay? And it always does. So here's the rule that you have to write down. As long as you keep sowing the seed, it's always going to fall on good ground. But here's the other thing now. Some of the good ground is going to bear fruit at 30%. Some of the good ground is going to bear fruit at 60%, and some of it's going to be at 100%, okay? So what does that mean? Some people are going to get started, and they only have a small, like a 30% goal with this business, and that's the only amount of effort they're going to put into it. You got to let people do that, right? Not everybody wants to be Black Diamond. Hey, listen, I'm a shark. I don't know why anybody would get started and not want to be Black Diamond or Triple Crown Diamond or whatever the diamonds they talk about, right? I don't know why anybody wouldn't want to do that. But when you have somebody who just wants to get in and their whole goal is to make their money back, take a solid product, and maybe get to the Bahamas, let them. You can't try to get somebody who wants to do 30 to produce at 100. Does that make sense? It'll kill you, right? I remember wanting it so bad for somebody that I was like, man, I'm going to get them to 100% if it kills me. And it almost did kill me, okay? I wanted it way more than they did, and I found myself all frustrated, and they could care less because they knew that they just wanted to get 30% fruit out of this business, right? So let the 30s be 30, let the 60s be 60, and let the 100s be 100. But your job is to keep your head down and keep throwing the seed. So with that being said, guys, understand we've got the unicorn, okay? We've got the timing, we've got positioning, we have access to the top of the company. We're working with the top Black Diamonds in the company. We have an explosive and disruptive product that we're about to unleash on the masses. Your job is to not get caught up with the cares, right? The thorns, the thorny ground. Just say, isn't that interesting? And keep on moving, right? Don't let anybody else rob you of what you have for you and your family, what you're trying to accomplish with this particular business and what it can do for you. Because if you get caught chasing birds, it could kill your business. And this is the last business you ever want that to happen with, because it just has so much potential. Okay. So with that being said, I think that's all I've got for the evening. Remember, guys, tomorrow, 10 a.m. is when I go live. Good news is we've got our leaders on the East Coast. So, I mean, if you guys got somebody who wants to talk at 6 a.m. and you're out here on the Pacific side, just send your message to the actual Diamond group, okay? And somebody will be there to help you. I get on at 10 o'clock, and we're going to run 8 to faint every single day. We're going to just make this happen, guys. With that being said, a couple things that I want you guys to know. Ricky, Francoise, and I had a meeting Saturday with a very talented online marketer, digital advertiser, and we're basically going to revamp all of the UCrew Nation training planning session. We talked a little bit about, because I know some of you guys had mentioned it to me, that the training is very much phone focused. And when they go and they're teaching our new people, they're teaching people to talk about, the products or the business opportunity. And in-house here with us, we're just talking CBD, and we do it on text. So we did talk about that, and we are going to revamp a little bit of what we're doing. We're not, the UCrew Nation is, because they feel that they've got to evolve. The training system that we've set up was very much set up before or pre-CBD. And what we've been doing since we got here is very much focused on CBD. And so it's the hottest product in the world. We've got the best one based on our patent with liposomal technology. And so we're going to ride that bad boy till the wheels fall off, guys. So I love you guys. God bless you. Hopefully you guys have a great night. And I'm going to get this recorded, and I'll have it up as soon as possible. Joe, congratulations, brother. You deserve it. And let's go get some of you guys, some other people on that trip with us. We got 9 so far, right? My goal is to at least have 25 people on that cruise ship with us in May. And we'll basically take over the spot, and we'll probably make some UCrewMVMNT tank tops, right? And we're going to just go and represent there, guys, because we're doing a lot of great things. So love you guys. Have a good night. God bless, and we'll talk soon.